Hello guys, welcome to my new project which is predicting home prices using various factors. And in this project our goal is to find out the information or data about the factors that affect the prices of homes in the United States and knowing how these factors have influenced home prices over the past 20 years. So I have researched on Google and found out that these are the list of factors which influence the home prices in USA. So these are actually supply and demand factors that typically affect the home prices in USA. And here my target variable or the Y variable is home price index. So all this data I have downloaded from this economic research website, which is Fred Economic Data and United States Census Bureau. So from these two websites, I have downloaded the required data and stored in my computer in my directory. So first, Uh, I have changed my directory where all these downloaded files are located, and using Pandas uh, functionality, I have read this file which is home price index, and I have set parse dates parameter to true so that my the dates column will be my index column, and I have made the required changes in renaming the columns. Now if I run ymonthly.info, ymonthly is nothing but my target variable. So as you can see here, it has only one column. I mean, it basically has two columns, while the first column is the index column, which is the date, which is the date or the period column. So now I have made few changes here, like rounding up the home price index. And if we see the first five rows of the bi-monthly or our target variable, we can see that we have two columns named date and house price index. So I have 250 rows uh, in my target variable, and the first index column is date. And in this date column, if you can see, uh, I have home price index for each and every month starting from 2000 January to, let me check its last rows, from 2010 October 1. So till that I'm having all the available data. Now, going on to our factors and supply and demand factors, these are the ones which affect the home prices in USA. Now, the first thing is we need to grab homes for sale data, and I got this from the US Census Bureau. So once I have downloaded the file, and I have done some indexing and slicing and renamed the columns. And I have reset the index, and I also dropped unnecessary columns. So this is my data frame uh, of home sale. The first five rows, as you can see here, the period column consists of 2000, 2001, 2002, but we need the column to be in this form, like year, month, and date form. So to do that, we need to use toDateTime method in Pandas functionality and set our period column uh, in the format year. So, and also the homes for sale data type is of object and period data type is of object. So we need to change both these data types to period should be date time data type, and homes for sale needs to be our integer. Now I have done it using the pandas functionality, and now if we see the information of my data frame, which is home sale, I can see the period column is of date time data type, and homes for sale is of integer data type. Now here comes the interesting part. Here we So our home sale data, once we have downloaded, we'll be having it in the annual data format. That means in year by year. If you can see here, the home sale data is in years. Like, it has only 2000, 2002, 2003. That means only like, only 20 rows. So if you can see here, we are having only 22 rows, that is from 0 to 21. That means we are having only year data, only yearly data. Now we need to resample this data using resample method, and make it to monthly, since our target variable is in the monthly data format. Now, I have done this resampling method, and I have used mean and round to visualize the data in a perfect format. Now, once I apply this method and check the first 5 rows of my home cell data, I can see that I have the null values assigned to the remaining months in an year. Now, how to fill in these null values? So we can fill the null values using a technique called as interpolation, using linear method to upsample the values of months linearly. So using interpolation technique, we can fill the null values, and also the interpolate method has a parameter called as method which is linear. So I am using this method to upsample the values of months linearly. That is I'm telling this interpolate method to assign the values in linearly. Okay. Now by this line of code I have filled the null values and set all the values to the linear. Now I have reset the index. I have applied the reset index method to the home sale data frame. Now I converted the homes for sale column to integer, and I have dropped the last three rows which are extra, and I used in place is equals to true to make it permanent. Now let's view our home cell data. Let's view the first 10 rows of our home cell data. So I'll be getting the data frame in this way. See, if you can see, I have the monthly data starting from January and ending till October 2020, and homes for sale. We can see the linearly increased values. So in this way, I have to work on for each and every parameter, and I need to get all the required data frames. So federal funds rate, personal savings, disposable income, personal consumption, housing starts, each and everything. I have done the same method. I have applied the same technique, interpolation, and got this data frame, got these final data frame. So finally, what we need to do is we need to uh, let me show you first. Now, till here we have all the factors available in the form of CSV files. Now let's merge all these files and create one large monthly file consisting of all the factors as shown below. Now here I am merging all the data frames together and creating a very big data frame. Now these are all my data frames, and using the merge method in the pandas functionality, I am merging all the data frames together by using outer argument in the parameter. Now using for loop also I have written some lines of code and attained this data frame which is X monthly. Now in this X monthly I'm having in total 14 columns and 250 rows starting from 2000 January to 2020 October, and there are no null values present. So this is Y monthly, and Y monthly I'm having HPI has its column and 250 rows. Now our two data frames are ready. So our target data frames are also ready. Our target data frame is also ready. Now let's once check the data types of our two data frames, which is X monthly and Y monthly. As you can see, most of the columns are of type float, and a few columns are on integer. Now, finally, let's build a machine learning model that explains how these factors impacted home prices over the last 20 years. So, I have imported the train test split function from scikit-learn for data splitting, and here the second line of code is importing the linear regression model from scikit-learn. So linear regression model is the perfect one in this which suits the current scenario in our problem. uh, what is the third line of code? Third line of code, uh, here we are importing the metrics module from scikit-learn for evaluating the model performance. Now, creating the X feature variable containing specific columns from the X monthly. So from X monthly, we are taking the required columns for creating our X feature variable. Now, if I see the first 10 rows of our X feature variable, we have USA GDP, unemployment, months of supply, total construction, permits number, permit valuation, mortgage, housing starts, personal consumption, personal income, and savings in all the suitable format. Now, our Y represents target variable for modeling. So, Y should take out the home price index. Now, this is our target variable. Okay. Okay, now let's split the feature data X and target variable Y into training and testing sets. So this line of code does that function, and I'm creating the linear regression model instance. I'm assigning, I'm calling the linear regression model and training my model by giving X train and Y train sets of data. I've trained it. Now I'm predicting make predictions on the test data, which is on X. Let me run this. So I'm making predictions on test data, which is X test, and finding the here I'm finding out the relationship between each feature and the target variable, and I'm also printing the estimated values, which are intercepts with when all the features are 0. Now let's check the model score. I'm getting the model score like approximately 99% on the trained data. Now let me get the model score for the test data. So I'm getting around 75%. So to assess the performance of the model, below evaluation metrics can be used. So as this is linear regression problem, mean absolute error, mean squared error, and root mean squared error are used to check the evaluation metrics. Now, yeah. Now the root mean squared error is less than 10%. 1 second. Yeah, the root mean squared error is less than 10% of the mean value of HPI. The mean value of HPI is yeah, the mean value of HPI and lesser than the standard deviation of the HPI in the test data. Here's the standard deviation, and this indicates that the model is doing good in prediction values. So this is our observation. Next, actual target values from y-test versus prediction values with okay. The, now let's see what will be the result. So here we are comparing the actual values to the predicted values, and now to check the assumptions and performance of a linear regression model, we can use different types of residual plots. So this is now this is regarding the plotting this is plotting our data. Now let's use residual plots, and here I used yeah, so these are the I used matplotlib scatter plots. So this is nothing but the data visualization part, and you can have a look at it on my GitHub page, which is